Hello, I'm Mrs. Harney, and this is the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science video. I always start the beginning of the year asking the students, why do we study science? And one of the most important reasons, I think, is to learn about God's creation and to appreciate the magnificent world that He has given us, the magnificent bodies that we have, um, just all the wonders of the universe that God has created for us. And I think we're so blessed to be at a school where we can talk about that. We study three major categories of science. In 6th grade, we study earth science. In 7th grade, we study life science. And in 8th grade, we study physical science, which is a combination of chemistry and physics. So if the students stay through that entire program, they have a very, very well-rounded introduction to all those different areas of science. And it's pretty challenging. So by the time they go into high school, they're definitely ready for high school science. The supplies that they need, they're going to need a composition book. They write notes that they put in their composition book. Sometimes we'll do mini labs and things like that, and all that goes in their composition book. They need their Harney binder. They need loose leaf paper, pens or pencils, and highlighters. On a given day, we do different things. Sometimes we take notes. Sometimes we read sections from the book. Sometimes we do labs or activities. Actually, we do a lot of labs. This year we're having to curtail it a little bit because of COVID, but I'm trying to do some things where we do it as a class or individually. So I don't want to give up the labs, and so I'm trying to curtail it a little bit, but hopefully at some point this year we'll be able to get back to our normal labs. One thing that's very, very helpful and the students don't like to do is to read the sections that we are going over in class. We don't read the sections out loud in class. It would be very boring and take very long. So we just highlight the important things through the notes that they write, and through our class discussion, we highlight the important parts of the section. But it would really benefit them if they would read that section, and sooner rather than later. For instance, if we go over chapter 5, section 1, if they would read it that night, it would really stick with them better than if they wait until a day before the test and then they read it. So I really recommend that. I know a lot of times they don't want to do that because it's not written work, so it's not something that I'm going to check, but that is a real good way to achieve success in science, to read the sections that we do in class. And usually they're only a couple pages. They're not real long. We don't have a workbook, but I put together little packets that they do with each chapter, and those are graded. They're also a very, very good review of the information. So you'll see those, they'll have those in their Harney binders. Give a test after each chapter, and I would strongly suggest that they study from their notes first. So I always tell them, when you're going to study for a test, have your notes out, look over your notes, and then maybe if there's something you're a little shady on or something you don't remember very well, have your book open as well, and then refer back to your book to kind of strengthen your understanding of that part. They can also use their workbook packets to study for tests. But my first go-to would be my notes, then my book, and then read over some of the labs we've done or the workbook packets. To sit down the night before a test and try to just read the chapter, it's not a good study skill. We talk a lot about study skills and how to successfully prepare for the science tests. So I really emphasize that, looking at your notes and then using your book as your secondary source for help. They will have exams. We keep all of our tests. They take all their tests. We usually get through about 8 chapters before the end of the first semester. They keep all those tests in a file that I have in the room, and then they get those all back so that they can review for the first semester exam, and then they have a end of the year exam as well. Tests and projects are about 50% of their grade, and then labs are 25%. And then the other things like maybe smaller assignments like their workbook packet or their notes that I do check their notes and they get a grade for that. That's 20%. And then homework completion is 5%. So at the end of the quarter, if they've done all their homework and turned it in on time, for that 5% of their grade, they get 100% averaged in, which really helps. Now, if let's say they've missed 3 assignments, that goes down 10% each time. So instead of 100% averaged in, it would be a 70 averaged in. So it's very important for them to get their homework done on time. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to call me, text me, or email me. My phone number is up on top and my email is on bottom. I don't mind getting a text or an email from a parent or a student. Doesn't bother me at all, so please feel free to reach out. I'm very excited about the year. I'm excited about all the things that your children are going to learn, and I'm looking forward to everything that we're going to do this year in science. Thank you.